All right, let's talk about cars. Nope, not the Ferrari kind of car, but controlled articular rotations. So when we're working with our joints and wanting to have those bulletproof joints, we want to make sure that we're doing controlled articular rotations. So I'm going to show you some for the shoulders, for the wrists and the elbows today. And these are ones that you can use as you are working through different mobility zones of the body, okay? So we're gonna start with a controlled articular rotation of the shoulder. You're gonna turn that thumb up right here. You're gonna keep the breath in and the core nice and tight, and you're gonna pull straight up, and you're gonna go as far as you can before you rotate that thumb, bringing it back. It's nice and controlled, and bring the thumb up. Then we can go the opposite direction. Lead with the thumb as you're coming over, turn it and lead with the pinky. If you will work on these controlled articular rotations in such a manner, you will begin to get greater joint mobility and greater joint strength, as opposed to warming up like this, right? So while we're doing that, that's very sloppy and doesn't actually put your shoulder through a controlled situation. So you want to make sure that you're doing that in a controlled situation. And then you would do the same with the other side, leading with that thumb, pivoting, coming around. Again, leading with the thumb, pivoting, coming around. So you would want to do 10 revolutions on each side. As you can hear, nature is with us today. Jack, my rooster, is talking to me. Remember, keep that core nice and pulled in. Keep a nice, solid, wide stance here down at the bottom. Good. That's for your shoulders. So we can also do controlled shoulder shrugs, nice and tight and controlled. And you can reverse. That opens up the upper back, opens up the chest a little bit. These are nice and controlled. You can do 10 of those either side. All right, if we want to work on our elbow, so we're going to hold just above the elbow joint right here, and we're going to rotate, rotate, and rotate. And remember, you're not always putting your joints through these motions, and so these are good. We're working on the synovial fluid that's in there, which helps lubricate those joints. If that's too much for you, if you're feeling any kind of sharpie pain, you need to slow it down and make your range of motion a little smaller. But don't opt out of doing it. Make sure you are working that range of motion. That's going to help you, especially if you have arthritis in those joints. All right, you're going to switch sides, holding just above the elbow joint. Now you can see my range of motion on this side is a little less because I had a shoulder injury. Amazing how that affects all the way down to the elbow. As you can see, I don't have as much external rotation. So this is a really good one for me to work and to help with that rotator cuff injury that I have. And we're going to go the other way. These are fantastic for lubricating the joints, helping them to feel so much better. Good. All right, let's bring it down to the wrist. Take those wrists out. I'll bring mine down a little bit so you can see, and let's slowly roll the wrists. So it's like you're grabbing and rolling, grabbing and rolling. You can hear my grandchildren in the background. Gotta love real life, right? And let's go the other way. You're wanting to semi-lock out those elbows because you don't want them to get into the picture, right? This is not going to help you. So semi-lock out. We don't have to be in a full lock, but semi-lock out. And you're going to go in the other direction. Good. Another thing you can do with the wrist, there's a ton of articular rotations we can do and pressure points, but you can take and pull down gently on that wrist right here. should feel a nice stretch right through the forearm. And then let's pull it the other way. Pulling on the tips of those fingers, as you see here. Especially if you're someone who sits at the desk all day and you're working with that hand on the computer, you're going to feel some tightness, maybe some carpal tunnel. This is a great stretch for that. This one's not a mobility, this is more of a stretch. And let's do the other side. And then flip it over. Wow, I can really feel that in that forearm. That's incredible. And lastly, you can put those hands together and you can roll. And then you can switch sides. If you'll notice, one side seems to be more dominant than the other. This is really good to help with different proprioceptions of your body. That just means awareness. There you go. All right, I hope you enjoyed